What if I told you? Two people can eat the same protein, do the same workout, but one builds muscle faster, just because their protein moves differently inside the body. Sounds impossible? It's not. And once you see what's actually happening inside, you can't unsee it. Let's go inside the body. When you eat normal food, it first goes into your stomach, and here, your body starts breaking it down. But this process is not fast. It takes time. Now here's the key difference. Some proteins, like casein, form thick clumps in the stomach, which makes them digest slowly. But whey stays in a liquid form, and that changes everything. Because whey doesn't slow down in the stomach, it quickly moves to the intestine. And here, enzymes break it down almost instantly into amino acids, which are then absorbed directly into the bloodstream. This is where the speed comes from. And this creates something powerful. Within just 10 to 15 minutes, your blood amino acid levels spike sharply. This is called the whey spike. No other protein reaches this speed, and that's exactly why whey is called a fast protein. So now these amino acids are in your bloodstream, moving fast. But here's the real question. Where do they go next? Because this is where muscle growth actually begins. To build muscle, these amino acids must enter muscle cells. But here's the catch. Not everything gets in easily. Your muscle cells don't open the gate for everyone. But there's one amino acid that changes everything. Leucine. When leucine arrives, your muscle cells respond immediately, and the gate opens. And once inside, leucine activates something powerful, a pathway called mTOR. Think of it as a switch for muscle growth. When it turns on, everything changes. Because once mTOR is active, your cells start building protein faster, much faster. This is where new muscle is created, not in the gym, but inside your cells. Now let's connect the whole chain. Whey gets absorbed fast. That sends amino acids into the blood. Leucine reaches the muscle cell. The gate opens, and mTOR switches on. So the big question now is, what does that switch actually do inside the muscle? Here's the simplest way to understand it. Muscle growth is really the process of building new protein. Small amino acids join together again and again to form larger protein structures, like bricks becoming a wall. And when that building process speeds up, muscle growth speeds up. And this is where the real factory comes in. Inside your cells, there are structures called ribosomes. Think of them as protein factories. Once the growth signal arrives, these factories begin working harder and faster. That means more protein gets built inside the muscle. This is exactly where whey gains its advantage. Because whey moves fast, leucine arrives fast, the growth signal activates fast, and the protein-building machinery starts fast. So the full chain, from digestion to muscle building, happens earlier, and that can make a real difference after training. And this explains something a lot of people notice, but don't understand. Two people can do the same workout, eat similar protein, and still get different results. Because the difference is not only effort, it's also what happens inside the body. After the protein is taken, that hidden chemistry changes everything. Most people think whey protein is just whey protein. But the moment you walk into a store, everything changes. Different types, different prices, different claims. So what are you actually buying? Then comes whey isolate. This is more refined. Most of the fat and lactose are removed, so you get a higher percentage of protein, cleaner, and easier on digestion. Then comes whey isolate. This is more refined. Most of the fat and lactose are removed, so you get a higher percentage of protein, cleaner, and easier on digestion. And then there's hydrolyzed whey. This one is already broken down into smaller parts, so your body doesn't even need to digest it fully. It gets absorbed almost instantly. And this is where most people go wrong. They buy the cheapest option, thinking more is better. But sometimes, you're getting less protein and more unwanted content, and that changes your results completely. You've just seen how whey moves fast inside the body. But here's something even more interesting. What if the protein is already broken down before it even enters your system? That changes everything. Because now, your body doesn't need to spend time digesting it first. It can move straight to absorption. And that's exactly what hydrolyzed whey is designed to do. Normally, protein needs to be broken down into smaller parts before your body can use it. But hydrolyzed whey is already processed into peptides, which means, instead of waiting for digestion, your body receives usable building blocks almost immediately. You're not just speeding up digestion, you're bypassing part of it. But this speed triggers something important. When amino acids enter your blood rapidly, your body responds with an insulin release. And insulin does something critical. It helps drive those nutrients directly into muscle cells. So faster absorption doesn't just mean speed, it means faster delivery, to where growth actually happens. But here's where balance matters, because the same mechanism can become a problem if used without understanding. Frequent spikes or unnecessary intake can stress your system over time. So this isn't just about performance, it's about using it intelligently. Because once you understand this, whey is no longer just a supplement. It becomes a tool, and the results you get depend on how well you use it. Now here's something most people ignore. When you consume protein, your body doesn't use all of it. The excess gets converted into urea, and that urea has to be filtered by your kidneys. So higher protein intake means more work for your kidneys, and over time, that load matters. And then there's lactose, the sugar found in milk. Some people can't digest it properly, which leads to discomfort. That's why whey isolate becomes a better option, because most of that lactose is already removed. And this is where most people make a mistake. They follow random advice without understanding their own body. But nutrition is not one size fits all. What works for one person may not work for another. So whey is not the problem. Overuse, misuse, and misunderstanding are the real issues. When used correctly, it can support your fitness journey. But blindly following trends never works. Because at the end of the day, your results are not just about effort. They're about understanding. Understand your body. Understand your nutrition. And you'll stop guessing and start progressing. If this helped you, like, subscribe, and I'll break down more fitness science like this.